For Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., or simply Cristianinho, as his family lovingly called him, life had never been ordinary. Born in San Diego, California, during one of his father's peak years, he entered the world not just as a child but as the heir to one of the most iconic names in football history. Growing up, Cristianinho was never short of admiration. From Lisbon to Madrid, Turin to Manchester, and then Saudi Arabia, the boy followed his father like a shadow, absorbing the atmosphere of elite clubs, training sessions, and post-match celebrations. Cameras were always nearby, fans always watching, and expectations always rising. But greatness isn't inherited, it is earned. Cristiano Ronaldo, five-time Ballon d'Or winner and the all-time top scorer for club and country, was both a guide and a towering benchmark. He trained like a machine, ate with discipline, and carried an iron-willed mentality that few could match. "You don't become the best by wanting it," his father once told him during a chilly morning jog in Turin. "You become the best by working for it, every day." Cristianinho listened. But deep inside, a question haunted him. Could I ever be as great as him? At just 10 years old, Cristianinho began to shine at Juventus Youth Academy. Even among talented peers, his technical skills, speed, and vision were exceptional. Scouts from other European clubs whispered his name during youth tournaments. Still, it wasn't easy. People expect magic from him every time he touches the ball, his coach at Juventus U11 confided in an interview. "He's talented, no doubt, but he's also just a child. The pressure is unbelievable." That pressure didn't lessen when he transferred to Manchester United's academy in 2021, following his father's emotional return to Old Trafford. The media frenzy around the father-son duo hit new heights. Videos of Cristianinho scoring long-range goals in youth matches went viral. Commentators labeled him CR7 2.0. Instagram pages tracked his growth. Comparisons were inevitable. But with fame came a burden. Cristianinho began to realize that being the son of Cristiano Ronaldo meant living in a constant audition, a performance in front of critics who were always ready to pounce. By the age of 14, Cristianinho had faced both highs and lows. He'd won youth tournament MVPs, scored hat-tricks in international friendlies, and was praised for his work ethic. But he'd also been benched, injured, and once even booed during a match in Spain when he had an off day. Behind closed doors, he struggled with self-doubt. "I want to make him proud," he admitted to his mother, who had flown in from Madrid to watch one of his matches. "But what if I'm just not enough?" "You're not him," she replied softly. "You're you. And that's more than enough if you believe in it." Those words stuck with him. He realized then that if he was to forge his own path, he had to define greatness on his own terms, not his father's. He began focusing on building his identity as a footballer. While his father was known for explosive power and relentless drive, Cristianinho began to carve a more creative niche. He preferred orchestrating play, acting as a deep-lying forward or attacking midfielder, often linking with teammates, crafting space, and threading passes that surprised even his coaches. "He sees the game like a maestro," one United U16 coach said. "Where Cristiano Sr. was a missile, Jr. is more like a painter." By 16, Cristianinho had moved again, this time to Real Madrid's academy. The club where his father had become a legend welcomed the son with cautious optimism. It was a symbolic return. There he matured rapidly. With a lean but growing frame, improved tactical awareness, and a humble yet competitive mindset, Cristianinho began to look like a professional in the making. He led his team to a national youth championship, scoring 18 goals and providing 11 assists over the season. His standout moment came in a high-stakes final against Barcelona's youth side, where he scored a late equalizer and converted the winning penalty in the shootout. "Pressure," he told the press afterward. "It's just part of the game. I'm learning to enjoy it." That season, Real Madrid offered him his first professional contract. Though only symbolic at this stage, it was a declaration. The club believed in his potential. European pundits began drawing serious parallels with the younger days of his father. But Cristiano Jr. had already learned an important lesson. Being as great as someone else was less important than becoming the best version of yourself. Despite his growing fame, Cristianinho never distanced himself from the wisdom of his father. Their bond remained strong, and their conversations evolved. Cristiano Sr., now nearing retirement from professional football, had taken on a more advisory role. He didn't push, but he mentored, with brutal honesty and fatherly love. "You'll have good days and bad days," he once said. "Even I did. But you must always remain consistent in your effort. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Prove it." Their training sessions together became rituals: sunrise runs, gym workouts, and video analyses. They would study matches together, not just Cristiano Jr.'s performances but also clips of Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, and legends like Zidane and Ronaldinho. "Learn from everyone," his father said, "but copy no one." At 18, Cristiano Jr. earned his first call-up to Portugal's U21 national team. He debuted against Italy and notched an assist and a goal, a curling shot from the edge of the box that mirrored the kind of goals his father once scored in his prime. European clubs took notice. Scouts from Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and Napoli expressed interest. Nike launched a campaign titled Next Chapter, featuring both father and son. Documentaries were announced. But the young star didn't let the glitz distract him. He stayed grounded, working harder than ever. While he embraced the glamour off the pitch, he kept his ego in check on it. In one revealing moment after a match where he scored a brace and was hailed as the future of Portuguese football, he said, "I'm not the future. I'm just getting started. I still have everything to prove." It was the 2028 U21 European Championship semi-final against France that marked his true arrival. Portugal trailed 2-1 with 10 minutes left. Cristianinho took control. First, he provided an inch-perfect assist from deep midfield. Then, in stoppage time, he danced through 3 defenders and curled in the winner from 20 yards. The crowd erupted. The world took notice. It was like watching the spirit of his father, but with his own twist, a commentator said. The moment went viral. Even Cristiano Sr., watching from the stands, was seen wiping a tear. That performance earned him a senior call-up to the Portuguese national team and sparked a transfer to Atletico Madrid, where he became a regular starter in La Liga. Now 21, Cristiano Jr. stood at the crossroads. Still early in his career, he had achieved remarkable feats: national team appearances, a La Liga debut, and several endorsement deals. But was he as great as his father? In numbers, not yet. In legacy, not yet. But in spirit, in mentality, and in the ability to inspire, he was on his way. He understood something essential: greatness isn't just measured by goals or trophies. It's measured by resilience, growth, leadership, and the ability to rise above expectations. When asked by a journalist how he handled comparisons to his father, he replied, "My father is the greatest. But I'm not trying to be him. I'm trying to be me. And if I become the best version of me, that will be enough." Cristiano Sr. once smiled when asked what he thought of his son's progress. "He's already great," he said. "Not because he's like me, but because he's better than I was at his age, not just as a player, but as a person." Whether Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. ever wins 5 Ballon d'Ors or scores 800+ goals may not be the right question. The real legacy lies in how a young boy stepped out of the shadow of one of the greatest athletes in history and lit a new path for himself. He became a role model for children born into fame, a symbol of personal identity, and proof that greatness can be inherited not by name, but by choice, character, and dedication. As the world watched and judged, he played on. And in doing so, he proved that while legends are rare, legacies can evolve beautifully. The end. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share for more interesting stories.